Hi guys, and welcome back to the channel. It's Yvonne from Ginger Chick Rehab. I am so glad to have you back checking out what Chris and I are up to. So in today's video, I thought that I brought home pieces from the dump, the junk pile that, should have been recycled, but we go to a Tuesday night auction here locally, and sometimes things just go really cheap or nobody's buying on them. And Chris spied this piece of junk, and I couldn't even envision what he was envisioning. So in today's video, he is sharing with you what he did to this piece of junk. You know when you know. So at the auction, Chris I was like, what are you doing? Look at this. I don't even know what it was supposed to be, but for $2, he saw something that I did not. Like I said, you just know when you know. And yes, he's had this piece of wood forever, I think, as long as we in our whole married life, and that we've been married quite a long time. So he did see a chair out of it all. I wasn't really sure what he saw, but I'm sure the pieces that I bring home, he thinks the same thing. And yes, I do agree, it was a chair at some point, and it really actually has a cool mechanism. That's what he's taking off right now, that actually you can slide that back closer or farther away. So that's actually a neat piece of hardware. So no, he's not going to try to fix that piece of wood. He doesn't have anything the same kind, the same thickness, that whole 9 yards of trying to match up a piece of wood. But he did have that other piece of wood that is nice and thick that will make a wonderful chair seat. So what he's doing now is he's just winging it. He is just guesstimating on the size of the seat. So I believe that we're not going to be reselling this. This is something he's going to keep in the shop. So he is just, hey, when you're going to build it, you can build it for yourself. So that's what he's doing, making a pattern, and he's cutting out that pattern right now. Even though the base is round and the pattern is sort of oval, we'll work with that later. But for right now, he's just going to trace his pattern onto his piece of wood. So he had to keep it the size that the wood was. You can always bend the wire just a little bit of the chair, but he really just wanted to stay with the width of this piece of wood. That he has the seat starting to take shape. You notice there wasn't a back. Maybe there wasn't a back, or maybe there was a back, but Chris is going to be making a back to this, so he's just taking off the short cut corners of this piece of wood using the bandsaw. So basically he used the cutting tools to get the basic shape of what he needed. Now then some sanding tools to smooth some edges down, but he needs to make these, see how the original seat kind of has rounded edges and it's kind of dipped so it's more comfortable to sit on. So now Chris gets to get all his arsenal of tools that he has collected over the years. So right now he's using the routing tool to make a rounded edge. But to give that curve, that dip, so you're not just leaning up against a straight, hard piece of wood, now he's using the angle grinder to start removing some of the wood in the middle to kind of give it that more of a shape that's a little bit more comfortable to lean against and to sit on. And after some tweaking with the angle grinder here and there, you know, the arch for the back where your back would sit, and then on the seat where your legs, your buttocks would be sitting. So now what he's doing is he's starting to sand it smooth. You already removed the material that you wanted to remove, so now he's just making it nice and smooth with some 220 grit sandpaper. The lower the number, the more product it takes off. The higher the number, the smoother the piece will be. That he's got that part done, and this part got a much needed bath. Ooh, that was filthy. I don't even know where this would have been sitting, but we're gonna go ahead and get it primed first, just using the Rust-Oleum. It's that red primer, but since we don't really know what material is on it, we're hoping that we got all the grease and whatnot off of it. Tried our best. So yep, just gonna get it primed first before spray painting it with the Rust-Oleum's flat black paint and primer in one. And I know that has the primer in it too, but like I said, we weren't really sure if we got everything off of this, and we just wanted to make sure that the black paint was really going to adhere. Now that I have that all painted up, I'm going to actually be staining these just a little bit. Aren't they absolutely gorgeous? This was just a thick piece of wood that, you know, when you're a woodworker, you never get, just like us crafters, we just don't get rid of anything. So what I'm doing here is I'm going to make a stain using antiquing wax and just a little bit of Waverly Ink chalk paint. I'm actually going to water it down a bit because I know that this wood is really dry. I'm just going to mix them together, and then I'm just going to wipe it on just like a stain, and I'm already loving the color. There's some imperfections in this wood, but that's what gives it character. Now after my stain soaked in, it is good and dry, I'm going to start applying coats of polyacrylic. And as I said, I know this wood has been around our area for a good 20 years plus. So the first coat is probably just going to soak right in. So I'm probably going to apply 3 coats before letting them dry in between before doing any kind of sanding. And I'm just going to do a 320 grit sanding. You normally would use steel wool, but there's some texture on the bottom still that you just didn't want to take any more product off. So the steel wool would just rip apart. So that's why I'm going for the 320 sandpaper, just to make sure that it's so smooth to the touch before applying that final coat. I'm also going to give the black part of the chair, the middle part of the chair, a protective coat of that polyacrylic also. Okay, so after Chris started with the wood and made it rounded like a seat, and I was more so getting that vision. Oh my goodness, I am so, yes, I am glad that he had a vision for that piece. $2 for the frame, a little bit of bent, a little bit of, you know, black paint and some wood. Yes, we've had that wood. He bought that wood forever ago, before even we had kids. Yes, so that piece of wood has been sitting around. It's just been so thick. So it was the perfect wood meant for this project, because you wanted a big old thick piece of wood for that. So it turned out absolutely gorgeous. Yes, I am so glad that he gets to play with his skills now and again, and I hope that you all enjoyed watching him, because it was pretty much him. I mean, I wasn't doing anything that I didn't already do. So I hope you enjoyed today's video. And give me a quick comment down below. Did you enjoy just watching Chris create? I hope that you did. So again, thanks for watching today's video, guys. And as always, if you are part of our YouTube family, thank you so much. And if you're new and you're checking out our channel for the first time and you liked what you saw, please hit that subscription button along with the notification bell so you know when we've uploaded a new video. And we will see you next time, guys, and you can see what we're up to. Bye!